Welcome to the quiet hours. The world outside your window has finally settled down, folding itself away into the gentle embrace of the night. The hurried pace of the day, the endless lists of things to do, the bright lights and loud noises, all of it is behind you now. You have arrived at this exact moment, and there is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing else you need to accomplish. Let your breathing slow. Draw the air in, smoothly and deeply, feeling it fill your chest with a cool, calming presence. And as you exhale, let your body soften. Allow your thoughts to settle, like fine sand drifting down through clear water. Coming to rest quietly at the bottom, notice the steady, reassuring weight of the blankets over you. Feel the way the surface beneath you rises up to support you entirely. You do not need to hold yourself up anymore. You can let go. You are safe. You are warm. And you are entirely allowed to rest. Before we drift deeper into tonight's gentle journey, remember to subscribe to Sleep Deep. Here, you'll always find peaceful stories that soothe the heart and quiet the mind. Where are you listening from tonight? Leave a comment. Your presence adds warmth to this quiet corner of the night. Tonight, we are going to embark on a journey far away from the hustle of the modern world. We are going to leave behind the ticking of clocks, the ringing of phones, and the artificial glow of city lights. We are going to travel backward, stepping softly through the velvet curtains of time, into an era so distant, so profoundly ancient, that the mere thought of it brings a sense of boundless peace. We are entering deep time. When we think of the distant past, of the time when giants walked the earth, our minds are often filled with images of thunderous roars and chaotic struggles. But tonight, we are going to gently set those thoughts aside. We are going to look closer and quieter, because the ancient world was not a realm of endless conflict. It was a world of breathtaking stillness. It was a world of careful, quiet survival, of gentle giants moving slowly through the morning mist, of devoted parents keeping their nests warm against the chill of the night. It was an era defined not by chaos, but by a slow, majestic harmony. Imagine the timeline of the earth unfolding before you, not as a straight, rigid line, but as a vast, gentle river. We are floating backward on this river. Watch as the familiar shapes of the continents begin to soften and shift. Land masses drift apart and come together, moving with the slow, deliberate grace of clouds across a summer sky. Mountains rise and fall with the rhythm of deep breaths. Oceans quietly advance over lowlands and gently recede, leaving behind vast, sparkling plains of salt. This journey takes us back over 160 million years. Such a vast expanse of time does not make us feel small. Rather, it wraps around us like a thick, protective blanket. In the face of millions of years, the worries of today, the small frustrations of our modern lives, simply dissolve. They become weightless, drifting away into the ancient winds. We arrive in the quiet calm of an ancient dawn. The world is cast in the soft, bruised blues and purples of early morning. A heavy, silver mist hangs low over the landscape, blurring the edges of the world and softening every sound. Here, there is no rush for the day to begin. The earth turns slowly, and the sun takes its time climbing over the horizon. You are standing at the edge of a magnificent, sprawling forest. But this is not a forest of oak or pine. This is a forest older than the very concept of flowers. Towering above you are giant tree ferns. Their thick, fibrous trunks reaching up into the pale sky. High above, massive fronds uncurl in the cool, damp air, catching the first faint glimmers of morning light. The air here is rich and heavy, carrying the deep, earthy scent of damp soil, crushed green leaves, and the pure, undisturbed freshness of a world that has never known a machine. Breathe it in. Let the clean, ancient air fill your lungs. Listen to the profound silence. It is not an empty silence, but a living, breathing quiet. You can hear the soft times, plip-plop times of water droplets falling from the tips of the giant fern leaves, landing gently on the mossy forest floor below. You can hear the faint, whispering rustle of the wind as it threads its way through the dense canopy. It is a lullaby composed by the earth itself, playing continuously through the ages. When was the last time you looked up at the night sky and felt at peace? The sky that fades into morning above this ancient forest is the same sky we know today. The stars that are just now blinking out in the pale light are the very same stars that will watch over you as you sleep tonight. There is a deep, unbreakable thread connecting this quiet, ancient dawn to your quiet room right now. As the light begins to gently filter through the mist, turning the silver fog to a warm, glowing gold, the forest slowly awakens. But there is no sudden burst of noise. Everything happens in slow motion. The massive cycads stretch their stiff, leathery leaves toward the warmth. The damp moss beneath our feet seems to glow with a soft, emerald light. Here, in this boundless, unhurried world, you are entirely free. There are no expectations resting on your shoulders. There are no tasks waiting for you in the shadows. You are simply a quiet observer, a welcomed guest in the dawn of time. You can let your muscles relax even further. Feel the tension melting away from your jaw, sliding down your neck, and releasing from your shoulders. We are going to walk through this forest, stepping softly on the damp earth. We are going to meet the gentle inhabitants of this world, not as strangers, but as fellow travelers on the long, beautiful journey of life. And as we walk, with every slow, deliberate step, you will find yourself drifting deeper and deeper into a state of absolute, unwavering calm. The mist swirls around our feet, cool and soft. The golden light of the Jurassic sun begins to warm our skin. The day is unfolding exactly as it is meant to, without rush, without worry. And you are here, safe, surrounded by the ancient echoes of deep time. As we step slowly beyond the edge of the ancient fern forest, the dense, fibrous trunks begin to thin out, making way for a breathtaking new landscape. The heavy, protective canopy above us gently parts, revealing a sky that is steadily blooming into the softest shades of peach, pale lavender, and dusty rose. Before us lies a vast, sweeping expanse of shallow water and smooth, dark earth. This is the ancient floodplain, a quiet sanctuary where the boundary between the sky and the ground seems to simply wash away into nothingness. The water here is incredibly still, less like a lake and more like an endless, unbroken mirror resting gently on the surface of the world. It perfectly reflects the pastel colors of the awakening dawn, creating an illusion that we are walking among the clouds themselves. The air hanging over the water is pleasantly cool and damp, carrying the faint, clean fragrance of fresh rain and mineral-rich clay. Take a slow, deep breath in, letting that cool freshness clear away any lingering fog in your mind. And as you exhale, let your shoulders drop just a little bit further into the softness of your bed. Let the tension drain away, replaced by a profound, comforting warmth. The ground beneath our feet changes from the spongy moss of the forest to a smooth, velvety mud. It is soft and yielding, holding the warmth of the earth from the day before. Every step we take is silent, absorbed by the gentle landscape. There is no rush here. There is no schedule to keep, no destination we must hurry to reach. We are simply wandering, guided by the tranquil beauty of a morning that has remained a quiet secret for millions of years. As we gaze out across the mirrored surface of the water, a shape begins to slowly materialize from the lingering banks of silver mist. At first, it is just a darkening of the fog, a subtle shifting of shadows in the distance. But as the morning light grows a little stronger, the silhouette reveals itself in its entirety. It is a creature of unimaginable size, a living mountain moving with a grace that completely defies its immense weight. There is no fear in this discovery, only a profound, quiet awe. This is one of the gentle giants of the deep past, a magnificent sauropod, greeting the morning just as you are drifting towards sleep. Watch how deliberately it moves. There is not a single ounce of hurry in its entire, massive body. It does not need to run. It does not need to hide. It simply exists, moving at the perfectly slow tempo of the earth itself. Its 4 legs, thick and sturdy like the ancient pillars of a forgotten temple, lift and fall with a rhythmic, hypnotic certainty. Let us listen to the sound of its approach. It is not a loud or frightening noise, but a deep, resonant vibration. With every step the giant takes, the soft earth absorbs the weight, sending out a low, muffled sound that travels through the ground rather than the air. A deep, heavy thud, then a long, comfortable pause, then another deep, heavy thud. This slow, steady rhythm echoes across the quiet water. It is like the ticking of a grand, ancient clock, but one that measures time in peaceful moments rather than anxious. Fleeting seconds, let your own breathing fall into sync with this rhythm. As the giant lifts a heavy foot, draw the air into your lungs, filling them completely. As the foot gently meets the soft earth, slowly release the air, letting out a long, quiet sigh. Breathe in with the lift, breathe out with the gentle step. Let the ancient rhythm wash over you, steadying your heart, calming your pulse, and lulling your weary mind into a state of beautiful tranquility. Now, the gentle giant comes to a halt near a cluster of tall, leafy conifers that border the water's edge. Its incredible neck, as long and graceful as the arch of a stone bridge, sweeps slowly upward. It moves with a fluid, liquid elegance, swaying gently in the morning air like sea kelp in a slow ocean current. The creature reaches the highest branches, places where no other animal can touch. and begins to carefully strip the soft, green needles. The sound of its feeding is wonderfully soothing. It is a continuous, rhythmic crunching and rustling, sounding very much like a gentle breeze weaving through autumn leaves, or the soft, rhythmic patter of a light rain against a window pane. It is the sound of pure, simple contentment. The giant is completely absorbed in this quiet task, deeply connected to the present moment. It does not worry about the afternoon. It does not regret yesterday. It is simply here, enjoying the warmth of the rising sun and the rich nourishment of the earth. If you listen very closely, beneath the soft rustling of the leaves and the gentle lapping of the water against the muddy shore, you might hear another sound. It is a sound so low, so incredibly deep, that you feel it in your chest before you actually hear it with your ears. It is a soft, continuous humming, a deep, resonant rumble traveling across the misty floodplain. This is the sound of connection. The giant is not alone. Somewhere further out in the mist, hidden from our view, but sharing the same peaceful morning. The rest of the herd is slowly grazing. They use these incredibly low frequencies, sounds that can travel for miles through the dense forests and across the open plains, to speak to one another. It is a constant, reassuring hum of family, of presence, of unwavering safety. Asterisk, I am here. Asterisk, the gentle rumble seems to say, asterisk, you are safe. We are together. There is nothing to fear. Feel that deep, resonant hum wrapping around you. Let it act as a soft, acoustic blanket, insulating you from any stray thoughts or worries that might try to creep back into your tired mind. You are completely surrounded by the protective presence of these magnificent, peaceful creatures. In their massive, comforting shadows, your own troubles shrink down to nothing, dissolving completely into the cool, ancient air. If tonight's story reminded you of a beautiful memory or brought a sense of peace to your heart, feel free to share it below when you awaken. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, and your presence is part of this shared calm. As we stand here on the edge of the mirrored water, watching the gentle giant peacefully sway its long neck in the golden morning light, the world feels completely balanced. The mist continues to drift. The water gently ripples, and the slow, rhythmic heartbeat of the earth beats on. You are deeply relaxed. Your limbs feel heavy and warm, sinking comfortably and securely into your mattress. Your eyelids are growing heavier with every passing second, softly shielding your eyes from the waking world. We will stay here for a little while longer, simply watching the gentle movements of the herd, simply breathing in the clean air, as the ancient morning slowly, beautifully unfolds. There is absolutely nowhere else you need to be. You are held by time, anchored by peace, and perfectly ready to rest. As we gently leave the edge of the mirrored water, the immense, peaceful silhouette of the gentle giant slowly fades back into the morning mist. Continuing its slow, rhythmic graze, we turn our steps away from the open floodplain, moving softly toward a denser, more secluded part of the ancient forest. The transition is seamless, a quiet shifting of scenery, like the slow turning of a beautiful, old page. The light here changes. The bright, pastel sky of the open water is replaced by a magnificent canopy of towering araucaria trees and broad-leaved ferns. The sunlight filters down through countless layers of green, transforming into soft, dappled pools of emerald and gold that rest gently on the forest floor. The air in this sheltered grove is slightly cooler, holding the rich, comforting scent of dry pine needles, aged wood, and undisturbed earth. It is the scent of absolute safety, a hidden sanctuary completely tucked away from the vastness of the outside world. Notice how your footsteps make almost no sound here. The ground is thickly carpeted with a soft, yielding layer of fallen needles and moss, accumulated over countless quiet seasons. It acts as a natural cushion, absorbing any remaining tension from your legs and making you feel as though you are floating just slightly above the earth. With every breath you take, draw in the peaceful, cedar-scented air of this hidden grove. With every breath out, let yourself sink a little deeper into the warmth of your own bed. As we wander deeper into this tranquil cathedral of trees, a new shape emerges among the shadows of the massive, winding roots. It is a large, carefully constructed mound, built from soft earth, gathered leaves, and dry, woven branches. It is a nest, wide and perfectly circular, resting in a natural hollow where the wind cannot reach. And resting upon this nest is a sight that completely reshapes everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. Here, in the deepest quiet of the grove, lies a parent. This magnificent creature is not the cold, scaled Vandra of old legends. Instead, its large, powerful body is entirely covered in a thick, beautifully soft coat of primitive feathers. The colors are muted and soothing deep, earthy browns, soft charcoal grays, and subtle streaks of warm amber, allowing it to blend perfectly, peacefully, into the shadows of the forest. It is an incredibly beautiful, gentle guardian, sitting in absolute stillness. For a long moment, we simply stand and watch. The parent dinosaur is vast, but there is nothing frightening about its size. Its immense body is curled gracefully, tucking its long, delicate forelimbs close to its chest. Its sweeping, feathered tail wraps securely around the base of the nest, acting as a soft, living barrier against the cool morning air. The creature has made itself into a fortress of warmth, a biological blanket perfectly designed to protect the fragile, precious life resting just beneath it. Think of the profound patience this requires. In our modern lives, sitting entirely still for even a few minutes can feel like an impossible task. We are so accustomed to moving, to doing, to constantly shifting our attention. But here, in the heart of deep time, patience is not a chore. It is the very essence of survival. This devoted parent has sat here for days, perhaps weeks, perfectly content to simply be. It does not need entertainment. It does not feel the anxious pull of urgency. Its only purpose, its only desire in this vast, ancient world is to provide warmth. Watch the way it breathes. The rhythm is incredibly slow, deeply anchoring, and beautifully consistent. The massive, feathered chest rises gently, smoothly expanding as it draws in the cool forest air. There is a long, comfortable pause at the top of the breath, and then a slow, completely relaxed exhalation as the heavy body settles back down, sinking just a fraction of an inch closer to the earth. Breathe with it. Inhale slowly as the feathered chest rises. Hold it for just a moment, feeling the stillness in the air. Exhale softly as the giant body settles, letting your own body sink heavier and heavier into your mattress. You are safe. You are warm, just like the quiet life resting inside that ancient nest. You are entirely protected. The parent's eyes, large and deep, are half closed. It is in a state of profound rest, perfectly balancing between wakefulness and sleep. It is aware of the forest, listening to the soft rustle of the leaves and the distant, echoing hum of the world. But it is completely unbothered by it. It has surrendered to the stillness. It has given itself entirely to the quiet duty of resting. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself when you awaken. Remind yourself that it is okay to pause. It is okay to emulate the quiet patience of this ancient guardian and simply allow yourself to be still. As the morning slowly matures, the warm beam of golden sunlight manages to pierce through the thick canopy above. It travels slowly down through the branches, a spotlight crafted by the sun itself, until it comes to rest directly on the sleeping parent. The light catches the tips of the soft, downy feathers, making them glow with a faint, angelic halo. The creature shifts its weight, and movement so slow and deliberate it is barely noticeable, adjusting its posture to absorb the sudden, comforting warmth of the sun. You can almost feel that warmth yourself, spreading softly across your shoulders, radiating down your arms, and soothing your tired muscles. The gentle heat of the ancient sun, traveling across millions of years, just to find you here, in the quiet of your room. Listen closely. Beneath the soft, rhythmic breathing of the feathered guardian, there is another sound. It is the faintest, most delicate rustle, coming from deep within the nest itself. The quiet shifting of eggs against the soft earth. It is the sound of time moving forward, not with a harsh tick, but with a gentle, reassuring whisper. The world is taking care of itself. Life is continuing its slow, beautiful journey, and it does not need you to manage it, fix it, or worry over it. You can let go. You can let the heavy curtains of sleep draw closer. Let the image of the dappled grove and the softly breathing, feathered giant wrap around your mind. There is a deep, abiding peace in this ancient forest, a peace that has survived the turning of ages, the shifting of continents, and the slow march of time. And tonight, that peace belongs entirely to you. Your breathing is slow. Your heart is steady. You are resting in the shadow of giants, held completely safe in the quiet, gentle arms of deep time. Let us linger here, just a little longer. In the quiet sanctuary of the dappled grove, the giant, feathered parent continues its steady, rhythmic breathing, its massive body rising and falling like the gentle swells of a calm ocean. As the morning air gently warms, a tiny, almost imperceptible breeze weaves its way through the thick trunks of the ancient trees. It is a breath of wind so light it barely rustles the broad ferns, yet it is just enough to coax a single, loose feather from the resting guardian's magnificent coat. Watch this single feather as it slowly detaches. It does not drop straight to the earth. Instead, it catches the faint air currents, beginning a slow, mesmerizing dance downward. It sways gently from left to right, a weightless pendulum marking the unhurried passage of time. It drifts through a shaft of golden sunlight, briefly illuminating its delicate structure, a masterpiece of intricate, interlocking threads. Softer than the finest silk, follow its descent, down, down, until it comes to rest with absolute silence upon a thick cushion of emerald moss. When we think of feathers today, our minds immediately look to the sky. We think of soaring eagles, of swift swallows, of the sheer, breathtaking mechanics of flight. But here, in the depths of the ancient world, nature reveals a different, softer truth. The very first feathers were not born of a desire to conquer the air. They were born of a need for warmth. Before the first wing ever beat against the sky, feathers were simply nature's perfect blanket. They were a soft, insulating embrace designed to trap the body's heat, to keep the chilling winds of the ancient nights at bay, and to protect the fragile new lives resting in the nests. It is a beautiful realization, long before it invented flight. The world invented comfort. Think about the blankets resting over you right now. Feel their soft weight, the way they hold your own warmth close to your body, shielding you from the cool air of the room. You are sharing in a legacy of comfort that stretches back millions upon millions of years. You are experiencing the same fundamental, biological peace that this gentle giant feels as it rests under its downy coat. Allow yourself to sink into that warmth. Let it soften the edges of your thoughts. As you look at the resting giant, so immense and seemingly immovable, it is easy to imagine it as a creature of unimaginable heaviness. But nature is full of gentle surprises, and this magnificent animal holds a secret hidden deep within its frame. It is a secret of hidden lightness. Beneath the thick layers of muscle and the soft coat of primitive feathers, the architecture of this creature is not solid and burdensome. Many of its massive bones are not dense and heavy, but beautifully hollowed out, intricately honeycombed, with countless tiny pockets of air. It is a biological marvel, constructed much like the soaring, graceful arches of a grand cathedral, immensely strong, yet relying on empty space to achieve its breathtaking scale. Because of this hidden lightness, the giant requires far less energy to move than you might think. It does not have to constantly fight against the crushing gravity of the earth. It is supported by the very air it breathes, carrying an inner buoyancy that allows it to walk through the world with a slow, effortless grace. There is a profound lesson in this ancient architecture. To be large, to have a presence in the world, does not mean you have to carry a crushing weight inside you. You, too, can cultivate a hidden lightness. You do not have to hold on to the dense, heavy worries of the day. You can let them hollow out, replacing the tension with quiet, empty space. With every breath you exhale, imagine releasing a small measure of invisible weight. Let your arms become lighter. Let your legs sink effortlessly. Let your mind become as airy and unburdened as the honeycombed bones of the gentle giant. Just a few feet away from where the feather landed, the thick, textured bark of a towering conifer tree is weeping. A tiny injury in the wood has prompted the tree to heal itself, slowly pushing out a thick, luminous droplet of golden resin. It is the color of warm honey, glowing with a soft, inner fire as it catches the filtered sunlight. The droplet gathers at the edge of the bark, swelling slowly, taking its time. It is perfectly unhurried. Finally, it becomes just heavy enough to gently release its hold. It falls in slow motion, a single, golden tear dropping from the canopy. As it falls, it catches a tiny, drifting piece of plant fuzz, a microscopic traveler floating on the breeze, and encapsulates it completely. The resin hits the soft moss with a muted times tick asterisk, sinking slightly into the damp earth. Here, something magical happens. Time, which constantly moves forward, suddenly stops as the golden resin begins to cool and harden, transforming slowly into amber. It creates a perfect, impenetrable seal, the tiny piece of fuzz, the ancient air surrounding it, the exact quality of the Jurassic morning. It is all caught and held flawlessly. Millions of years will pass. Mountains will rise and crumble. The continents will drift apart. But inside that tiny, golden droplet, the piece of this exact moment will remain completely undisturbed, sleeping perfectly through the eons. It is comforting to know that some things are kept entirely safe from the rush of time. And here is the most beautiful, comforting twist of our journey. We often speak of these ancient creatures as if they are a lost chapter of a closed book. But the truth is far more poetic. They never truly left us. The gentle giants and their feathered kin did not vanish into the dust. They simply changed. They adapted. They grew smaller, lighter, and eventually, they took that ancient warmth and used it to lift themselves into the sky. If you ever find yourself waking up early, just as the sky is turning a pale blue, listen to the sounds outside your window, the cheerful chirp of a sparrow, the soft, melodious song of a robin, the gentle cooing of a mourning dove in the distance. That is not just the sound of a new day. That is the unbroken, living voice of deep time. It is the legacy of the feathered giants, shrunk down to fit in the palm of your hand, singing the exact same song of survival, connection, and peace. When was the last time you listened to the birds and realized you were hearing the echoes of the ancient world? The past is not gone. It is simply perched in the branches outside your room, waiting to greet you. Let this realization wash over you, bringing a deep, comforting sense of continuity. You are part of a world that is incredibly old, incredibly resilient, and beautifully connected. There is no need to worry about the fleeting moments, for the deep rhythm of life goes on, steady and sure. Close your eyes a little tighter. Let the golden light of the amber fade softly into the dark. Let the hidden lightness fill your chest. You are floating on a river of time, safe, weightless, and endlessly peaceful. As we leave the golden droplet of amber to its eternal slumber upon the soft, emerald moss, let your awareness gently shift. We are no longer just walking upon the surface of this ancient, misty world. We are beginning to feel the profound, steady heartbeat of the earth itself. Imagine the layers of soil and rock beneath our feet, not as cold, lifeless dirt, but as the pages of a vast, silent book. It is a book written over hundreds of millions of years, recording every sunrise, every gentle rain, and every quiet life that has ever graced this planet. Let your mind drift downward, sinking slowly through the soft, damp earth, past the deep, winding roots of the giant ferns, and into the cool, dark sanctuary of the bedrock. It is incredibly peaceful down here. The chaotic noises of the surface world cannot penetrate these ancient layers. There is only stillness. There is only the slow, comforting weight of time, pressing softly down, holding everything in a secure and dreamless embrace. Within these deep layers of stone, the earth acts as a gentle custodian, carefully preserving the memories of the giants who once walked above. Here, resting perfectly still within the rock, we find the beautiful, smooth shapes of fossilized bones. When we think of fossils, we might mistakenly think of endings, but in the quiet logic of deep time, a fossil is a magnificent testament to a life fully lived. It is a piece of the past that has chosen to stay, transforming itself from fragile bone into enduring stone, just so it could eventually tell us its story. Imagine running your fingertips over one of these ancient, petrified bones. It is smooth and cool to the touch, carrying the heavy, solid comfort of a river stone that has been polished by gentle currents for thousands of years. As you trace the curves of this ancient relic, your fingers might discover a slight, raised ridge along the surface. It is a subtle imperfection in the otherwise smooth stone, a place where the shape of the bone swells just a little bit thicker. This small, quiet ridge is not a flaw. It is a profound badge of honor. It is the scar of a healed fracture. Millions of years ago, this gentle giant stumbled, or perhaps a heavy branch fell in a long-forgotten storm, and the bone was broken. In our modern minds, we often associate such events with fear and distress, but nature is endlessly wise, and nature is endlessly patient. The animal did not surrender. It simply slowed down. It found a quiet, safe place in the forest, perhaps under the protective canopy of the ancient pines, and it rested for weeks, perhaps months. It allowed its body to do the miraculous, quiet work of healing. The bone slowly knitted itself back together, cell by microscopic cell, filling the gap with new, stronger tissue, creating that protective ridge. The giant endured the discomfort, accepted the need for stillness, and eventually it rose again. It continued its slow, beautiful journey through the ancient world, carrying with it the silent proof that it had survived. There is an immense, comforting wisdom in this healed fossil. It whispers a gentle truth across the millions of years. Asterisk, you are built to heal. Think of the small emotional bruises and the unseen weariness you carry from your own daily life. We all gather scars as we navigate the world, but those marks are not symbols of weakness. They are the beautiful, tangible proof that you have survived every difficult day you have ever faced. You, like the gentle giant, have the innate capacity to mend, but just like the giant, your mind and your body require the quiet grace of rest to do so. Allow yourself to rest now. Give your body the permission to sink deeper into the mattress. Release the tension in your hands. Uncurl your fingers and let them rest heavy and still by your side. You do not need to fix anything right now. You do not need to hold anything together. You are in a safe place, and you are allowed to simply be, allowing the quiet process of restoration to wash over you. The story held within the stone teaches us another gentle lesson about survival. If we look closely at the long, sweeping arc of deep time, we see that the creatures who thrived the longest were not necessarily the ones with the sharpest teeth or the thickest armor. The true masters of survival were the ones who were flexible. They were the ones who learned to move with the changing rhythms of the earth, adapting softly to new climates and new landscapes. Survival is not about rigid resistance. It is about gentle yielding. It is like an ancient river meeting a massive boulder in its path. The river does not exhaust itself trying to break the rock by force. It simply softens its course, flowing effortlessly around the obstacle, finding a new way forward while maintaining its essential, peaceful nature. You can practice this gentle yielding right now. If a stray thought or a lingering worry floats into your mind as you lie here, do not fight it. Do not tense your mind trying to push it away. Simply acknowledge it, like a leaf floating on the surface of a quiet river, and let it drift by. Yield to the flow of sleep. Let your mind soften, curving gently around the thoughts of the day, leaving them behind as you drift further into the dark, quiet waters of rest. When we measure our lives against the vast, breathtaking scale of 160 million years, something wonderful happens to our everyday anxieties. They lose their sharp edges. The frustrating email, the missed deadline, the small misunderstandings, they shrink down until they are nothing more than microscopic grains of sand on an endless, ancient beach. In the grand, sweeping narrative of the earth, your worries are incredibly small, and it is entirely safe for you to let them go. The world has turned peacefully for eons before this day, and it will continue to turn peacefully long after this night has passed. You are held in the vast, protective embrace of a universe that is ancient, enduring, and infinitely patient. Earth and stone take millions of years to slowly compress, to shift, and to form the ground we walk upon. They are never in a hurry. Your soul, too, deserves this kind of unhurried patience. You deserve these quiet hours in the dark to decompress, to settle, and to slowly return to your most peaceful state. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself in the morning. Remind yourself that healing takes time, and that resting is the most productive thing you can do for your spirit. Breathe in the slow, ancient patience of the earth. Feel the cool, grounding energy of the deep stone supporting you from far beneath. As you breathe out, release the last, lingering echoes of the day. The scars have healed. The water has found its path. The earth continues its slow, rhythmic breathing. And you are here, perfectly safe, completely relaxed, and ready to let the gentle tide of sleep carry you away. We slowly rise now, leaving the quiet, protective archives of the deep stone, drifting back up through the soft earth and the tangled roots, until we find ourselves once again standing on the mossy floor of the ancient forest. But as we return to the surface, we notice that time, flowing effortlessly like a wide, lazy river, has carried us gently forward. The bright, the hopeful dawn we witnessed earlier has long since passed, and the sun is now beginning its long, slow descent toward the western horizon. We have arrived at the velvet dusk of the ancient world. It is the most peaceful hour of the day, a time of profound settling and deep, universal surrender. The light filtering through the giant fern fronds is no longer the pale, shimmering gold of the morning. It has mellowed into a rich, heavy copper, mixed with deepening shades of amber and bruised plum. These late afternoon rays do not pierce the shadows. Instead, they seem to melt into them, creating a world painted in soft, warm tones. The sharp edges of the leaves and the rough textures of the tree bark are beautifully blurred, softened by the approaching evening. As the sun dips lower, the shadows begin to stretch and lengthen across the damp earth. Watch them as they slowly crawl across the forest floor, long and elegant, laying a dark, cooling blanket over the ground. With the lengthening of the shadows comes a subtle, exquisite shift in the air. The warmth of the day begins to gently evaporate, replaced by a cool, refreshing breeze that carries the soothing scent of evening dew and resting leaves. Feel that imaginary, cool breeze sweeping softly across your forehead. It carries away the last remnants of the day's heat, cooling your thoughts and leaving your mind feeling clear, spacious, and wonderfully empty. As the temperature in the ancient forest perfectly balances between the warmth of the fading sun and the coolness of the coming night, allow your own body to find its perfect, comfortable temperature beneath your blankets. You are wrapped in an ideal cocoon, protected from the chill, completely secure. Out on the open floodplain, the gentle giants are responding to the changing light. The slow, rhythmic swaying of their long necks begins to pause. The endless, peaceful grazing that occupied their day comes to a natural, unhurried end. They do not need to be told that it is time to rest. It is a deep, biological knowing, an ancient wisdom that pulses softly in their blood. Watch as the largest of the sauropods begins to prepare for the night. It finds a soft, slightly elevated patch of earth near the edge of the dark, mirroring water. The massive creature lowers itself with a breathtaking, deliberate grace. First, its heavy front legs bend, sinking carefully into the yielding mud. Then, the hind legs follow. The enormous weight of its body is surrendered entirely to the earth with a long, resonant sigh that rustles the nearby conifers. Imagine the sheer relief of that moment, to carry such immense weight all day, and to finally, completely let it go. You can share in that exact sensation right now. You have carried the weight of your own world today, your responsibilities, your decisions, your care for others. Now, it is your turn to bend your knees, to lower your guard, and to surrender your weight to the surface beneath you. Feel the mattress rising up to hold you. Notice how it takes on every ounce of your burden, asking for nothing in return. You do not have to hold yourself together anymore. You can let the earth carry you. As the giant settles, it curls its impossibly long neck backward, resting its head gently against the soft, thick expanse of its own flank. It closes its dark, heavy eyes, shutting out the fading colors of the dusk. Let your own eyelids mirror this gentle closing. If they are not already shut, let them flutter down now, like soft, heavy curtains drawn over a quiet room. The visual world is no longer necessary. There is nothing left to look at, nothing left to figure out. You are safe in the dark. Back in the hidden, dappled grove, the devoted, feathered parent is also welcoming the dusk. The single ray of sunlight that kept it warm during the day has faded away, but the creature is unfazed. It simply fluffs its magnificent coat of primitive feathers, trapping the accumulated warmth of the day close to its body and the precious nest beneath it. It tucks its head beneath a soft, feathered arm, creating its own perfect, dark sanctuary. Listen to the changing sounds of the forest. The daytime rustling of leaves has quieted down. In its place, the evening chorus begins. But it is not a loud or startling noise. It is the soft, rhythmic chirping of ancient crickets hidden deep in the moss, playing a slow, steady lullaby. High above, in the cooling canopy, the earliest ancestors of our modern birds are settling onto their branches, rustling their wings one last time before tucking their heads away. Their soft, sleepy coos drift down through the branches like falling leaves. Beneath it all is the deep, continuous, reassuring hum of the resting giants out on the floodplain. It is softer now, a low, vibrating murmur that travels through the bedrock itself. It is the sound of a world that is completely at peace with itself. Asterisk. We are here. We are resting. The day is done. When was the last time you allowed a day to truly be done? Often. We carry the echoes of our waking hours deep into the night, letting them replay in our minds. But here, in the ancient dusk, the boundary between the day and the night is absolute and sacred. The day is over. The work is finished. There is no carrying today's concerns into tomorrow. If this story is helping you find that boundary, allowing you to finally put the day down, leave a gentle comment for yourself when the morning comes. Acknowledge your own permission to rest. Here, no one rests alone. Every listener who joins us in this ancient forest is finding their own quiet path to peace. And your presence adds warmth to this shared journey. The sky above the canopy is now a deep, majestic violet, dusted with the very first faint pinpricks of starlight. The mist, which had vanished during the warmth of the afternoon, is beginning to slowly rise again from the cooling water of the floodplain. It creeps silently over the mud, wrapping around the massive, sleeping forms of the giants, tucking them in beneath a blanket of silver fog. Breathe in the cool, misty air of the evening. Let it travel down into your lungs, soothing your chest, slowing your heart rate even further. Breathe out, and let your consciousness begin to blur, just like the edges of the forest fading into the mist. You are no longer bound by the ticking clock of the modern world. You are deeply anchored in the slow, eternal rhythm of deep time. The earth turns, the sun sets, the giants sleep, and you, held safely in the quiet embrace of the night, are drifting softly, beautifully, into the peaceful, dark. The transition from dusk to true night in the ancient world is not a sudden dropping of a curtain, but rather a slow, luxurious dissolving of light. as the deep violet of the evening sky gradually gives way to an endless, profound obsidian. A new kind of quiet settles over the forest and the floodplain. It is a stillness so complete, so rich and textured, that you can almost feel it brushing softly against your skin. You are now standing beneath a canopy of stars, untouched by any artificial glow. In our modern world, the night sky is often muted, hidden behind the haze of city lights. But here, in the heart of deep time, the heavens reveal their true, breathtaking magnitude. The stars do not merely twinkle, they blaze with a calm, ancient fire, scattered across the dark expanse like a handful of crushed diamonds thrown across a swath of black velvet. Look up into that vast, ancient ocean of stars. While the constellations might be arranged differently than the ones you know, the profound sense of awe they inspire is exactly the same. The universe has been holding this world in its quiet embrace for billions of years. The exact same silence that stretches between those ancient stars is the silence that is now filling your room. It is a silence that asks nothing of you. It only offers space endless, unburdened space for your mind to finally drift. When was the last time you allowed the sheer scale of the universe to simply wash away your worries in the face of such quiet immensity? The urgent demands of your day lose their grip. They become weightless, floating away into the dark. As the night deepens, a soft, silvery glow begins to crest the horizon. The moon is rising. It climbs slowly into the sky, large and luminous, casting a long, shimmering pathway of light across the still, mirrored waters of the floodplain. The ancient landscape is completely transformed. The warm, coppery tones of the dusk have been replaced by a cooling palette of indigo, charcoal, and shimmering silver. The moonlight touches the tops of the giant ferns, turning their broad fronds into pale, glowing feathers. It filters through the dense branches of the conifers, painting soft, shifting patterns of light and shadow on the mossy forest floor. It is a gentle, forgiving light. It does not demand your attention. It merely highlights the peacefulness of the sleeping world. In the modern world, we are often taught to fear the dark, to fill it with noise and light to keep the unknown at bay. But here, in this ancient sanctuary, the darkness is not a void. It is a presence. It is a thick, protective blanket that nature carefully drapes over the world, signaling that all work has ceased. The darkness here is a guardian. It hides the weary. It cools the earth. And it provides the absolute safety needed for deep, restorative healing. Embrace the darkness of your own room. Feel it wrapping around you. A soft and impenetrable shield against the demands of the waking world. You are completely safe inside it. Let your muscles relax even further, trusting the dark to hold you securely until the morning comes. Out on the moonlit mudflats, the gentle giants are now fully submerged in sleep. The massive herd has become a landscape of its own, a series of dark, softly breathing hills, resting peacefully under the silver sky. Their incredibly long necks are curled, their heavy heads resting securely on their own sides or against the soft earth. They are entirely surrendered to gravity. Listen to the breathtaking symphony of their collective rest. It is a chorus of slow, rhythmic breathing, hundreds of massive lungs slowly expanding, pulling in the cool, mist-laden night air. and then gently, harmoniously releasing it. Inhale, a soft, low rumble of air filling vast chests. Asterisk. Exhale, a long, resonant sigh that seems to vibrate through the very bedrock. This sound is the ultimate lullaby of the ancient world. It is the steady, unwavering heartbeat of a planet at peace. Let your own breathing join this ancient rhythm. You do not need to force it. Simply allow your breath to become longer, deeper, and completely effortless. As you draw the air in, imagine you are pulling in the cool, silver light of the moon. As you release the air, imagine you are letting go of any remaining tension in your body, letting it sink heavily into the mattress beneath you. Feel the relaxed weight of your legs. Feel your arms resting completely still by your sides. Notice how your jaw has softened, the tiny muscles around your eyes releasing their grip. You are mimicking the profound, beautiful surrender of the ancient giants. You are allowing yourself to simply exist, heavy and safe upon the earth. If tonight's story reminded you of a beautiful memory, or simply gave you a moment of profound relief, feel free to share it below when you awaken. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, connecting us all in our shared need for quiet and peace. Back in the sheltered, dappled grove, the moonlight struggles to penetrate the thick canopy, leaving the space in a state of warm, comforting obscurity. The feathered parent remains exactly where we left it, an immovable mound of devotion resting upon its nest. The night air has grown cooler, but beneath the thick, downy coat of the guardian, the temperature remains perfectly, consistently warm. The creature's breathing is shallow and incredibly slow, a testament to a metabolism that has dialed itself down to the barest minimum required for life. It is conserving every ounce of energy, turning all of its focus inward to the simple act of providing warmth. It is a beautiful image of pure, uncomplicated purpose. You, too, have a single, uncomplicated purpose right now. It is not to solve problems. It is not to plan for tomorrow. Your only purpose is to rest. You are allowed to dial down your own energy. You are allowed to turn your focus completely inward, to the gentle rising and falling of your own chest, to the soft rhythm of your own heart. The mist continues to roll gently across the floodplain, thick and silver in the moonlight, wrapping the sleeping giants in a soft, obscuring embrace. The boundaries of the world are blurring, fading into the comfortable, quiet gray of deep sleep. The sounds of the forest have faded to almost nothing, leaving only the slow, rhythmic breathing of the earth itself. There is nothing left to hold on to. The day is entirely gone, and the night is here to carry you. Let the silver light fade from your mind's eye. Let the shapes of the giants dissolve into the dark. You are drifting on a calm, ancient ocean of time, sinking deeper and deeper into a state of absolute, unbreakable peace. Here, in the absolute midnight of the ancient world, time does not merely slow down, it seems to pool and gather, resting quietly like water in a deep, hidden basin. The moon has reached its highest point in the velvet sky, pouring a continuous, unbroken stream of silver light down through the silent canopy of the giant ferns. The sleeping landscape is bathed in a profound, luminous stillness. The massive, dark shapes of the resting gentle giants are perfectly motionless, their breathing synchronized into a single, low, resonating hum that vibrates softly through the ancient soil. You are resting with them. You are part of this profound, nocturnal silence. Feel how heavy your body has become, how willingly it has surrendered to the soft surface beneath you. The need to move, the need to think, the need to do all of these daytime impulses have completely dissolved, washed away by the calm, tidal pull of the deep night. As we linger in this moonlit sanctuary, if you listen very closely, beneath the rhythmic breathing of the giants and the faint, distant rustle of the cooling air, a new sound softly emerges. It is a delicate, continuous murmur, incredibly faint, yet wonderfully clear. It is the sound of moving water. Let your awareness drift slowly away from the resting herd, gliding effortlessly through the thick, silver mist. Following the gentle sound, we move toward a shallow depression in the forest floor, a place where the roots of the ancient conifers part to reveal a small, hidden stream. This is not a rushing river or a turbulent creek. It is a ribbon of pure, liquid glass, moving with an unhurried, graceful deliberation. The water is astonishingly clear, fed by a deep, ancient spring hidden far beneath the bedrock. As it winds its way over the dark earth, it catches the moonlight, transforming into a shimmering, silvery thread that weaves through the shadows of the forest. Listen to the voice of the water. It is a constant, soothing whisper. It murmurs as it glides over patches of soft moss. It sings a hushed, melodic note as it drops just a fraction of an inch over a submerged root. And it sighs as it pools briefly in tiny tranquillities. Asterisk, glide, sweep, settle, flow. Asterisk. The rhythm of the stream is the rhythm of endless continuity. It is a beautiful, liquid lullaby that has been playing since the world was young. Let the sound of this ancient water wash over your tired mind. Imagine it flowing gently through your thoughts, carrying away any lingering debris of the day, the small worries, the leftover conversations, the lists of tomorrow. Let the water take them. They are weightless now, drifting away on the silver current, leaving your mind as clear and undisturbed. As we watch the water move, we notice a smooth, pale stone resting perfectly in the center of the channel. It is a piece of ancient quartz, glowing with a soft, internal luminescence under the gentle wash of the stream. For thousands of years, this exact stone has rested in this exact spot, and for thousands of years, the water has been flowing over it. When the stone first fell from a distant ridge, its edges were sharp, jagged, and rough. But the water did not fight the stone. It did not try to break it with sudden force. Instead, it offered something far more powerful, endless, gentle persistence. Day after day, year after year, century after century, the water simply caressed the stone. It flowed over the sharp edges, wrapping them in a soft, liquid embrace, slowly, patiently smoothing them away. Today, the stone is perfectly round, flawlessly smooth, a masterpiece sculpted entirely by gentleness There is a profound, healing wisdom resting in the bed of this ancient stream. We often believe that to overcome the obstacles in our lives, we must apply force. We think we must break through our hardships, fighting against the rough edges of our days. But the water teaches us a different, softer truth. It shows us that true transformation does not come from conflict. It comes from yielding. It comes from the gentle, persistent application of peace over time. Whatever sharp edges you encountered today, whatever jagged moments snagged your peace of mind, you do not need to fight them tonight. You can be like the water. You can allow your natural, quiet resilience to flow gently over those memories, softening them, rounding them out, until they are nothing more than smooth, harmless stones resting at the bottom of your mind. With every long, slow breath you take, imagine that softening process. Inhale the cool, silver light of the moon. Exhale, and let a wave of quiet acceptance flow over the rough edges of your day. Notice how your muscles respond to this surrender. The tension in your neck dissolves. The tightness in your chest unravels. Your hands rest open, completely empty, holding on to nothing at all. Here is the most beautiful, comforting secret of this hidden stream. The water that is flowing over the smooth quartz, the water that is currently reflecting the Jurassic moon, is not lost to the past. The Earth is a closed, perfectly beautiful system. The water never leaves, it only travels. This means that the exact same water molecules weaving through the roots of these ancient ferns will eventually find their way to the vast, open ocean. They will be lifted by the warmth of the sun, carried across continents by grand, sweeping winds, and they will fall again as rain. The rain that taps gently against your window on a quiet afternoon, the water that fills your cup, the mist that cools your face. It is the very same water. You are intimately, physically connected to this ancient, peaceful night. The world is not a series of disconnected eras. It is a single, continuous, beautiful story. And you are a living part of it. The water remembers the quiet of the deep time, and it brings that quiet directly to you. When was the last time you looked up at the night sky, or listened to the rain, and felt this deeply at peace? If tonight's story reminded you of a beautiful memory, or helped you feel the profound connection to the world around you, feel free to share it below when you awaken. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, and your presence adds a gentle light to our shared journey. Let us stay by the stream just a little longer. A single, dry leaf detaches from a branch high above and floats down, spinning lazily in the quiet air, until it lands softly on the surface of the water. It does not sink. It simply rests there, supported entirely by the gentle tension of the stream, and begins a slow, peaceful journey forward. Watch the leaf as it drifts. It makes no effort to steer. It does not resist the current. It surrenders completely to the gentle flow, trusting the water to carry it exactly where it needs to go. You are that leaf right now. You have landed softly on the surface of the night. You do not need to steer your thoughts. You do not need to direct your dreams. You can completely surrender to the slow, heavy current of sleep, trusting that it will carry you safely through the dark hours and deliver you peacefully to the shores of the morning. the sound of the murmuring stream begins to slowly fade, blending seamlessly with the deep, rhythmic breathing of the resting giants in the distance. The silver moonlight softens, dimming at the edges of your vision, wrapping you in a cocoon of warm, comforting shadow. The world is perfectly still. The water flows, the stones rest, and you are sinking deeper, deeper into the endless, healing embrace of true rest. We have arrived at the deepest, most silent hour of the ancient night. This is the profound, sacred space that exists long after the echoes of the evening have faded, and long before the very first subtle hints of the morning begin to stir. It is the time of the great stillness. The world has entirely forgotten the rush of the day, folding itself into a state of absolute, unbreakable peace. The air in the forest has cooled to its most perfect, comfortable temperature. It is a crisp, clean coolness that makes the heavy blankets resting over you feel even more luxurious, even more protective. The scent of the damp earth, the crushed pine needles, and the sweet, sleeping ferns has settled close to the ground, creating a rich, earthy perfume that grounds your senses and tells your mind that there is absolutely nowhere else to go. If you were to look around this ancient sanctuary now, you would see a world painted entirely in shades of deep indigo, soft charcoal, and shimmering silver. The vibrant greens and rich browns of the daylight have been gently washed away by the moonlight, leaving behind a beautifully muted landscape that asks nothing of your eyes. It is a visual lullaby, a soft, monochromatic painting that allows your mind's eye to finally rest. And in that quiet moment under the endless sky, something feels different. A profound realization begins to softly unfold within you, blooming like a night-scented flower in the dark. As you lie here, safe and warm, let your awareness gently lift, floating upward from the mossy floor of the forest, rising slowly through the dense canopy of the towering conifers. Imagine you are drifting weightless, carried by the cool night air, until you are suspended high above the ancient landscape. From this magnificent, elevated vantage point, you can see the vast, sleeping continent spreading out in every direction beneath the luminous glow of the moon. You see the silver ribbon of the stream winding its way through the dark velvet of the trees. You see the expansive, mirrored surface of the floodplain, perfectly reflecting the ocean of stars above. And resting along the edge of the water, you see the massive, dark shapes of the gentle giants, entirely surrendered to the earth. From up here, looking down at the immense, quiet beauty of the sleeping world, you realize that the earth is not merely a collection of rocks and water and trees. The earth is a living, breathing cradle. Watch the subtle, synchronized movements of the world below. The massive chests of the sleeping sauropods rise and fall in a slow, rhythmic wave. The ancient trees quietly exchange the air, absorbing the silent exhalations of the animals and releasing fresh, clean breath back into the night. The water flows, the mist drifts. The entire planet is engaged in a single, continuous, peaceful respiration. You are not separate from this grand, ancient rhythm. You are a seamless, essential part of it. The atoms that make up your body, the water that courses through your veins, The very air that you are drawing into your lungs right now, it was all here, in this ancient night. The carbon in your bones was once part of a towering tree fern. The water that sustains you once flowed over the smooth quartz resting at the bottom of the moonlit stream. You are made of deep time. You are crafted from the eternal patience of the stars and the quiet resilience of the earth. Feel the incredible comfort of that connection. You are never truly isolated. You are never truly alone. You are woven into the very fabric of this magnificent, enduring story. When was the last time you felt truly held by the world around you? When did you last allow yourself to feel the comforting weight of gravity, not as a force pulling you down, but as an embrace? A gentle reminder that the earth is keeping you securely in place. If this story brought you calm, leave a gentle comment for yourself when you awaken. Remind yourself of this quiet revelation. Here, no one rests alone. Every story is a soft lantern in the dark, illuminating the beautiful threads that connect us all across the vast oceans of time. Let the feeling of gravity become a profound source of comfort. Feel the way your body presses softly into the mattress. Your legs are incredibly heavy, like ancient oak logs resting on the forest floor, completely immovable and perfectly relaxed. Your arms are heavy and loose, sinking deeply into the softness beside you. Your torso is anchored, grounded, held with the same unwavering devotion that the feathered parent shows to its nest. The earth is holding you. It has held the gentle giants through the ages. It has held the sweeping forests and the ancient oceans. And it is holding you right now, with effortless, boundless strength. You do not need to hold yourself up. You can release the final, hidden layers of tension you didn't even know you were carrying. Let them slip away, melting down into the mattress, passing through the floorboards, and returning to the deep, silent bedrock of the planet. As you surrender your weight, let your breathing align perfectly with the slow, majestic rhythm of the sleeping giants below. Draw a long, slow breath in, feeling your chest expand gently, gathering the cool, silver peace of the night. Hold it for a soft, suspended moment, floating in the perfect stillness of the dark. And then, let it go. Exhale with a long, quiet sigh, feeling your body sink just a fraction of an inch deeper into the bed. Inhale, the quiet strength of the ancient earth. Exhale, the complete release of the waking world. Your heart is beating with a slow, steady, reassuring rhythm. A quiet drum matching the pulse of the deep time. The thoughts that once fluttered through your mind like anxious birds have now settled onto their branches, tucking their heads under their wings, surrendering completely to the night. Your mind is vast, clear, and perfectly empty. A magnificent, dark sky waiting only for the gentle arrival of dreams. The boundaries between you and the ancient world are dissolving. You are the stillness of the moss. You are the gentle flow of the hidden stream. You are the quiet, protective warmth of the downy feathers. You are floating on a vast, calm ocean of time, and the water is incredibly warm, incredibly safe, and beautifully dark. There is nothing left to decide. There is nothing left to understand. The great stillness has wrapped its arms entirely around you, sealing you away from the demands of the daylight. You are safe. You are held. You are drifting, softer and lighter than a single feather falling through the warm, golden air of a forgotten morning. We have traveled a remarkable distance together tonight. We have stepped backward through the vast, invisible curtains of deep time, leaving behind the frantic, ticking clocks of the modern world to wander through an era measured only by the slow, majestic breathing of the earth. We have walked under the bruised purple skies of an ancient dawn, watching the gentle giants move with effortless, hypnotic grace across the mirrored floodplains. We have stood in the quiet, dappled grove, witnessing the profound, unmoving devotion of the feathered parent protecting its future. We have seen a single, weightless feather fall through the golden light, and we have watched the water patiently smooth the sharp edges of the stone. You have journeyed through millions of years, and through it all, you have discovered a beautiful, comforting truth. The ancient world was not a place of endless noise and chaos. It was a sanctuary of deep, abiding stillness. It was a world that knew how to rest. And now, that ancient knowledge, that profound capacity for absolute peace, has been entirely transferred to you. As we stand here in the velvet darkness of the Jurassic midnight, it is time to gently close the book on this ancient chapter. You have gathered all the peace, all the grounding comfort, and all the quiet healing that this old world has to offer. Now, you can begin to let the images softly blur. There is no need to hold on to the vision of the towering tree ferns anymore. Let their sweeping, fractal fronds gently dissolve into the cool mist of the night. Watch as the silver ribbon of the hidden stream, the one that sang such a sweet, liquid lullaby, slowly fades from your mind's eye, its shimmering surface melting away into the surrounding shadows. The massive, slumbering silhouettes of the gentle giants, resting so heavily on the muddy shores, gradually become indistinguishable from the dark, rolling hills of the earth itself. Even the stars above, those ancient, blazing diamonds scattered across the obsidian sky, begin to softly dim. One by one, they lower their light, retreating behind a thick, comforting blanket of dark clouds. Let it all go, and allow the ancient forest, the mirrored waters, and the sleeping creatures to wash away, receding like a slow, gentle tide pulling back from the shore. You are releasing the visual world entirely. The shapes, the colors, the landscapes, they are all softening, blurring, and melting into a vast, beautiful canvas of pure, empty darkness. This darkness is your private sanctuary. It is a warm, enveloping space where no images are required, no thoughts are demanded, and no effort is needed. As the ancient world fades away, let your awareness gently return to the physical space of your own room. But do not bring the worries of the day back with you. Leave them buried deep in the prehistoric soil. Bring back only the profound heaviness, the unhurried patience, and the perfect stillness of the gentle giants. Feel the absolute safety of your bed. Notice the soft, comforting weight of the blankets draped across your body. They are your own version of the downy, primitive feathers, trapping your warmth, shielding you from the cool air of the room, and keeping you perfectly, flawlessly secure. Notice the way your pillow rises up to support the heavy weight of your head. cradling you exactly as the soft earth cradled the resting ancient creatures. You are entirely supported. Gravity is holding you in a gentle, unbreakable embrace, tethering you safely to the spinning world. You do not need to use a single muscle to keep yourself here. You can surrender completely to the downward pull. Let your legs sink deeper into the mattress, feeling as heavy and immovable as fossilized stone. Let your arms rest completely limp at your sides, all the tension drained out through your fingertips, washing away into nothingness. With the outside world faded to black, there is only one thing left to focus on. It is the most natural, the most essential, and the most comforting rhythm in your life, your own breath. Listen to the soft, quiet sound of the air moving in and out of your body. It is a microscopic echo of the wind moving through the ancient conifers. A tiny, perfect reflection of the gentle stream carving its way through the quartz. Draw the air in slowly through your nose. Feel the subtle, cooling sensation as it travels down into your chest, gently expanding your lungs. Your chest rises. A small, peaceful hill swelling in the dark. Now, let the air go. Exhale through your slightly parted lips with a long, almost imperceptible sigh. Feel your chest softly collapse, your body sinking just a fraction of an inch further into the mattress. Inhale, slowly, drawing in the absolute quiet of the night. Exhale, completely, releasing the very last, lingering remnants of the day. There is no rush to the next breath. Allow a small, beautiful pause to exist at the end of your exhale. Rest in that tiny pocket of emptiness for just a second before the body naturally, effortlessly decides to draw in the next breath. You are not controlling it anymore. You are simply observing it. Your body knows exactly how to breathe. Your body knows exactly how to rest. As your breathing becomes shallower, longer, and completely automatic, let the final, soothing truth of the night wash over you. There is nothing else you need to do. The day you have just lived is completely over. It has been folded away into the vast, unending archives of time, joining the millions of years that have come before it. Whatever you accomplished today, it was enough. Whatever you left unfinished, it can wait. The world will not stop turning because you have chosen to close your eyes. In fact, the most beautiful, productive thing you can do for yourself and for the world around you is to allow your mind and body to completely heal in the dark. You have navigated the complexities of your life with resilience, and now you are granting yourself the ultimate kindness, the permission to stop, the permission to simply be a quiet, breathing entity resting on the surface of an ancient, caring planet. If this story brought you calm tonight, if it helped you find a small piece of peace in the dark, leave a gentle comment for yourself in the morning. Let it be a soft reminder of the stillness you are capable of finding. And please, don't forget to subscribe to Sleep Deep for more peaceful nighttime journeys. We will always be here, ready to guide you back to the quiet corners of the world whenever you need a place to rest. But for now, the journey is at its end. Let the sound of my voice begin to soften in your mind, blending with the rhythmic, hypnotic sound of your own slow breathing. Imagine the last, tiny spark of consciousness glowing like a single ember in a dying fire. Watch it as it slowly, peacefully fades. The glow becomes dimmer, softer, smaller, until it finally, gently blinks out. There is only the breath now, the steady rise, the slow fall, the heavy, comforting warmth of the blankets, the deep, eternal silence of the night wrapping around you, keeping you entirely safe. You are drifting away, floating untethered on the calm, dark waters of sleep. Nothing to do, nowhere to be. Just rest. Deep, unbroken, beautiful rest. Sleep well.